welcome to another edition of Nights with Ricky. I am your host, Ricky Reeves, and definitely we're going to talk about it's right there on the bottom of the screen, right there, Eve or Lilith. And there's two types of women in the world. There's only two types of women in the world, in my opinion, and that's you're either an Eve or you're a Lilith. You can't be nothing in between. It's like hot and cold. You can't be no lukewarm. It's only two. And I'm just going to break it down and why I believe that these two types of women, of personalities, are all over the world right now as we speak. So, in the beginning, God created man and woman. It's stated in Genesis 1:27. But then, if you go a little further, like in Genesis chapter 2, verse 22, God said that Adam, he needed a helper and he created, he needed a partner and he made Adam fall into a deep sleep. And when Adam awoke, he had a rib taken from him when he was in that deep sleep, and that became his wife, Eve. Now, people are saying, well, who was the woman in Genesis 1:27, chapter 1, verse 27? It doesn't state Lilith by name in there, but Lilith's name is later in the book of Isaiah. I got to find that verse, but it's that her name is mentioned in the book of Isaiah. But I'm pretty sure that was her initially in that part of the book. It's a myth. It could be not true, but it sounds a lot true to me. I've heard stories, and people have like spoke on this, like, religious people and everything, where they said that the fall from sin was not because of an apple that was eaten. It was actually a threesome. And I thought about that. And that makes so much sense to me. Because they're saying that Lilith, she wanted to be equal to Adam. And she wanted to be over him, authority over him. And looks like God wasn't allowing that, you know. So that's why he created a helper, because with Eve, because Lilith wasn't going to do that for him. You know, she just wasn't going to play that role. So they're saying that it wasn't a snake in the garden, but that it was Lilith who convinced Eve. Because you gotta remember, always what is the biggest downfall of every man in throughout time? Anybody, period. Women too. It's a sexual, like, it's a sexual scandal. It's a sex scandal. Every time. You could be running for president. They'll dig deep and find some type of sex scandal to get you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Case in point, number 45, grab them, you know what? And they allowed that. So that's just amazing right there in itself. But they're saying that Lilith convinced Eve because Lilith knew that they was naked. She convinced Eve. They're saying that she had sex with Eve first. And then Eve, she failed. So that's why she went and convinced Adam to join in. And then they're saying this is the root of all evil. This is the root of sin. And I thought about that. I was like, yeah, I'm still believing what I read in the word. I'm still going with that. But that's not too far fetched. I can see that really happening. And then they're saying the pregnancies happen. And they're saying that Cain was Lilith's son and that Abel was Eve's. And that could be explained why there's two different types of personalities, good and evil, pretty much. You know, they were created under some circumstances. That's that phrase, born in sin. I can see that. But it's just, I'm not saying you got to believe that story, and I'm not believing that all the way either. But I'm just saying it is an interesting take, and it's not too far fetched. That's all I'm saying. So don't get my words twisted like, oh, you said this, and no, no, no. I'm just saying that it's a story that I've been hearing for years, and it's just very possible. Is it really? I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if that story is actually true. Because I'll tell you one thing, Samson had sex with Delilah. That's for sure. He did that. That was not no cut, no hair. She cut something else off. He was cutting something else. But it wasn't, it was hair. It might have been hair there, but not on top of your head, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so they're saying when they fell, that's when Lilith got banished. She was banished, from there. And then as well as Adam and Eve. They were banished from the Garden of Eden. Which, a great situation. I don't know how you can get banished from that. And they saying that the Garden of Eden is still protected to this day. That would be like a beautiful sight to ever come across, but you're not going to ever find it. And it's interesting to what that place looks like. Hopefully I could get a chance one day to see where that is. But obviously I'm not going to be here when that comes. But anyway, but as a result of all of that stuff, that's why I said there's two types of women in the world, and you're either an Eve or a Lilith. Lilith, it just sounds like, the modern day woman, independent. She could do it on her own. She doesn't need a man's help. She could do this. She could do that. What are you here for? You know, oh, I could just get me a toy to do me. I don't need you. Only thing I need from you is that, but I could get a toy for that. I don't need you to own these houses. I don't need you to, I got stocks, I got bonds, I got businesses. It's just all about them. Oh, I could just go get a donor and have a kid. I don't have to have a kid from you. That sounds like the modern day woman. And Lilith was definitely like this. You know, she wanted to be in control. She wanted to be the authority figure. She wanted to be on top, pretty much of Adam. She was probably trying to do him instead of the other way around. And that wasn't happening. And then you got Eve on the other hand. Eve is docile. She's very, sounds like she was very sweet, comforting. She was a helper. She was very helpful, submissive, you know, very compassionate. I would say compassion. I think she has like all the emotions that every man, even today, they look for in a woman. She had like just she was emotionally stable, physically stable, and everything. But one thing that Eve was very naive, and she was easily led because that's what she was supposed to. She was supposed to be led. So that's what Lilith knew. She knew that she has to be led, and she can be easily led. And all she has to do is be convinced. No matter how smart she is, if sometimes very sweet women can be easily led and convinced to do things that they don't usually do or don't even want to do. And you can always tell when the woman how she responds. I didn't know that she's not going to respond, normally, you know. So I can see that in a lot of women today. There's more Liliths than Eves. That's for sure across the world. But there's Eves around, and I see them. You could tell when an Eve, say if you're working with an Eve, she's gonna be very quiet. She's gonna be focused on the job. She's not going to be, trying to get your attention at all. But if you talk to her and you try to get her attention and you want to, lead her, she's going to probably follow suit. If you fit every of those qualities she's looking for too. Just because she's, submissive, docile, and quiet and timid doesn't mean she don't know what she wants. But you're gonna see these type of women, they're gonna be like these type of personalities. But then the Liliths, if you work with the Liliths, they're in competition with each other. They want to know, I look better than you, bitch. No, bitch, I look better than you. They might not say that out loud, but they saying that in their mouth. That's for damn sure. They trying to get these men, trying to get these women too. They just trying to get anything. They just want ownership. That's what they care about. Just I got the power. I want power. And they're gonna just control and conquer anything in their path. That's all they really care about is conquering. You could be thinking, "Oh man, she approached me. She wants to get with me." There's there's some little, there's some Eves that will approach because it takes a lot of guts to do that. But these livers, if they want what they want, they gonna know how to go. See what a Lilith does? She uses Eve's whole personality and nature to get a man. And then once she gets the fucking man, then she turns back into her natural state, and that's Lilith. And then you're gonna be like, where did this sweet, where did that sweet, beautiful, compassionate woman go? And what is this fucking bitch doing here? Like it happens all the time. I have seen family members. They've had women that been sweet in the beginning, and then now they can't stand the bitch. They'll say that I can't stand the bitch. I can't stand her. I got friends. They've gotten married to the wrong type of women because they've been, fooled, like easily fooled. Like, especially when a woman comes and finds you, you need to be up on your P's and Q's because that means she got some plans for you. It ain't just because you was sexy. No, nigga, she got plans for your black ass. You need to have your eyes and your ears working, and your intuition got to be on point. But usually your intuition ain't on point when it's, especially if you smash and having a lot of sex. Your intuition's gonna be all cloudy, and then that's when you're gonna be, well, damn, what the fuck? Why am I in the? Because you didn't listen to those words, and this is definitely for young men to listen to too on that part. But also, the personality types of Eve and Lilith, like I would say also Lilith is like, the current studs of the world. There's a lot of studs all around the world. And but one thing is for sure with studs. Every time I've worked with studs and stuff, I don't ever disrespect them or anything like that. It's just when a true male energy is in front of them, they will revert back to their natural energy of a woman. And that's what destroys a Lilith every time. She always has that. That's her at the end of the day. She can't get rid of that. That's who she is a Lilith. It's an energy like no other. You know, Eve, those are two female types of energy. That's really what it is. It's personality, they call it, but it's really energies. And the Eve energy is definitely more seeked out by men of the past and of now, more than the Lilith. A Lilith, a lot of men sleep with Liliths. These are just they're just more aggressive. They might not even be studs. They could be very feminine looking, but they just aggressive. They just, rough and rugged. That's how they are. That's how they was built. That's how they was raised. But these type of women, you just gotta watch out. They got agendas. They say being nice is showing kindness with an agenda. I really believe that fucking phrase. That's the truth. Because they could just use a Eve's energy to reel you in. They could just do that too easy. I mean, it's not that hard. And a lot of dudes fall for it. But you gotta be, if you can entertain it, but you can maintain it and control it, that's a different story than entertaining it and then, you know, regretting it. Because you just went into it all blind. But you gotta be leery of that. You have to be leery of that. And that's the one thing that Lilith likes is control. You know, she loves the power. She thrives on that. and she'll do anything to get it. And she would cause mayhem amongst anyone to get it. Like, case in point, there's a story, this is about the gangs that's in Los Angeles and how they said, the Crip gangs, they got separated, like in the year 1979. And it was over a female. And to be honest with you, I think that was a Lilith because you messing with two men from two different, gangs and stuff. And then somebody, I believe, got killed as a result of that. And then it started this big war that has killed several young men and women and children. And some that ain't even connected to that lifestyle for almost over 40 years. Definitely over 40 years. 42 years actually. That's a lot of bodies that was lost. I don't even want to count that. It's just too much. It was totally unnecessary. But it was all over Lilith. And that's just even more just like, see, this is what the difference is. And then Liliths, they always got to be out there. You know, that's another thing with Liliths. Liliths might be, like, they look like the Kim Kardashian types. They very beautiful. That's one thing they hide is their beauty. They want to make sure that they are the sexiest thing in the room. All of them. And then this explains why that show, The Bad Girls Club. Those is a bunch of Liliths all over that show. Like, like, most of these love and hip hop ones, those is Liliths. Like, and they're just so into themselves. Like, what makes you think this woman's going to even be even an inkling into you? Whenever I see them type of women, that's like they say, "I'm about this. I'm about my money. I'm about this." I say, "I believe you," and I let them go ahead and do their thing. I'm not going to be a part of that ride because they have agendas set. You should hear how they talk about what they're doing with their businesses and stuff. That's the same way they talking about you when you ain't around. If you trying to get with them, that's they're gonna talk about you like you just, like you just this little phone right here. Like you just, okay, I'm gonna, sell this. I'm gonna do this with this. Just like you a toy. Like they could just pick you up and put you down. I'm not going for that. You know, I want to be wanted. I want to be needed, and and I want to protect. And everything. And a Eve deserves all of it, not some of that, but all of it. So that's just a brief introduction into that. Like I said, you could take it for what it is about, you know, the Bible contradicts because it's chronologically not in order, but they say they used to write it all mixed up. But I'm just saying, it's just something that I heard like more than twice, and it's interesting take. That's all. But I'm definitely going to talk more about this because there's so many layers to this one too. I pick subjects where there's a lot of layers to it, and you can always revisit it and go back. But I just like to touch on it just to get the ball running, rolling action. So yeah, definitely make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Um, Definitely comment on the videos. I'm always commenting, and I appreciate every comment I get. I try to get all of them, make sure I see all of them. Sometimes I get those, those ones, you know, them spam ones. I don't understand that, but that's what I'm saying with that. So definitely, just continue to keep coming back for the content. To any new viewers, new subscribers, welcome, and just definitely check out my old material. And I'm just gonna keep just bringing some stuff out. So definitely, y'all take care and be easy.